Big Mike.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. I mean, our honoree is the Cuckoo clock. Of course, we had a little history lesson. Thank you, Freeman, on the history lesson of the Cuckoo. It started in 1963 down the road here in Wilmot, Ohio. A lady by the name of Alice Gross-Nicholas. She had a vision. She had a little cheese shop. And a little cheese shop that didn't get many tourists. And she had a cuckoo clock shop inside that cheese house. And one day she thought, what if I were to build the biggest cuckoo clock in all of the world and bring it to Wilmot, Ohio? She got that idea in 1963. Cost her about $600,000 or something. Over the years of, it took 12 years to build it. 2 expert clockmakers. One passed away halfway through. The other one finished it out. In May of 1975, it was finished. And in September of 1975, 40 years ago today, it was up and running. And the tourists came from everywhere. I'm sure a lot of you have stories of this cuckoo clock. And a lot of people remember, going with their grandparents or their parents, or, taking a Sunday drive out to the cheese house and seeing the world's largest cuckoo clock. It was what we did in the old days. We didn't have YouTube and all these phones and all that stuff. You played slug bug on the way, and you looked at that sign as you drove down the highway that said, 10 more miles to the world's largest cuckoo clock. 5 more miles to the world's largest cuckoo clock. 1 more mile to the world's largest cuckoo clock. And sure, people thought old Alice was cuckoo, but those tourists came, and her cheese shop grew into one of the #1 Swiss cheese manufacturers in the country, Alpine Cheese, which is still going today. But yes, Alice's husband, Hans, he passed away. For one thing or another, the restaurant kind of went downhill, and she got older and couldn't run it. It closed, and the cuckoo clock went into disrepair. And then another family bought the restaurant. They tried to run it. They tried to repair the clock, tried to make it once again a big roadside attraction. It didn't work so well. And that's when it closed. Bankruptcy, whatever, foreclosure, auction. And a local businessman named Mark Koblenz, he was cuckoo enough to purchase the world's largest cuckoo clock, but he didn't know what to do with it. So he brought it to Sugarcreek, and they decided, we'll do something with it. It belongs here. It's a little Switzerland of Ohio. My gosh, yeah, it belongs there. But what do we do with it? And as Freeman said, it sat down here on Factory Street in the parking lot for how many years? One or two, 1.5 years, just sat there. And then there was this spunky young mayor that came along. And some people said he was a little cuckoo. And he got LaVon and Sonny and Freeman and all the other fellas like Dave Beachy and everyone else he named, and said, we got to do something with this clock. It can't just sit there and wither away. It once meant something to so many people. He had this vision, sort of like Alice did back then, to get this corner lot that we stand on today and put this clock back together. And Mayor Weller, come up here. Remember that night? Well, I'm gonna try to choke up a little bit. Excuse me. I was going to do this. One night in the cold winter, we were over there. There was an empty storefront, said for rent. And we were looking for a place to rent. And we're from 30 miles up the road, Canton, Ohio. Excuse me, blah, 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 blah. Hello, everybody. 30 miles up the road, we're kind of fish out of water. We don't really belong down here. And we're scraping the ice off that window for rent because we wanted to put a little shop in a town like this. And there was a fella out there shoveling snow and just doing the sidewalks. And he said, "You looking to rent that place?" I said, "Yeah, you the landlord?" He said, "No, I'm the mayor." I thought, yeah, exactly. I'm the mayor. With rock salt in his hand and shoveling and doing what he does. I thought, man, this has got to be a great town. It's got to be a town that loves their mayor. The guy that's had vision to do this and put all this hard work in. I see you over here, you planted all these flowers. You do so much for the city, you've done so much for us. That night you had a vision. You put that vision in our heads. 3 years later, we're here. This Cuckoo Clock's up and running. Tourists come here every day from all over the world. We had a lady the other day that was up here and she was crying like I am, big baby. And I said, "Ma'am, is there something wrong?" She said, "No, I'm happy." I said, "Well, you don't look happy." She said, "No, I used to come look at this Cuckoo Clock with my grandma and grandpa." And she says, "I'm here with my grandchildren today. I want to thank whoever saved that clock." And I said, "You go back to the mayor's office and you say thank you." And that's what we're doing here today. Saying thank you to you.
Thank you, Mayor.
And your hard work in getting this and keeping it on track. It did seem cuckoo at the time. And I know you've been through a lot with health issues and your own problems, and I hope you're doing well. And you know we pray for you all the time. And we love you. And I want you to know that. Look at all these people out here showing up tonight. They all love you. You want to say a few things? Come on.
Thank you.
That's him. That's how humble he really is. That's our man. Thank you. But this isn't over, all right? Let me try to dry up here for a second. Here we go. Here, you can have one. I brought extras. I learned that from a clown. Mayor Willard and the fine people of Sugarcreek and the fine people of this fine state of Ohio. And I want to thank everybody for coming out here today. This is the missing piece of the puzzle that we talked about 3 years ago over there when I asked you, "Wasn't that thing in the Guinness Book of World Records?" And you said, "Yeah, I believe it was. The front page." Well, I said, that'd be cool. Can we you have the certificate back at your office or anything? No, we've never seen it. We've never seen that certificate. We talked to both owners, previous owners, they never saw the certificate. Nobody ever saw it, right? We were starting to think it didn't exist. We called the people in London, England, and we talked to them. "Good day, mate." No, whatever. "Hello. Fish and chips, top of the day to you." But they said, we have no records past 1980. We didn't keep any records back. We didn't have computers. So we don't have proof that was ever the world's largest cuckoo clock. I said, "Boy, this is just not going anywhere." And I said, "It's got to be some proof." Well, we did. We found that Guinness Book of World Record book. And on the front cover, sure enough, is this cuckoo clock in 1978. That book sold 2.2 million copies that year. It was like number 2 to the Bible. And the Guinness Book today is still the one book that consistently, yearly sells at number 1 every time it comes out. And I called that lady back and I said, "Go grab the 1978 copy off your shelf." "Oh, well, just you hold on a second." She went and got the copy and come back and I said, "Ma'am, I have your proof." She said, "What page is it on?" I said, "It's not on a page, we're on the front cover. And we helped you sell those 2.2 million copies. You have to give us our certificate back. Our town deserves it, our people deserve it. We have the Guinness Book World Records largest cuckoo clock." And Mayor, there it is.
Yeah!
Once again, straight from England, we are the world's largest Guinness Book of World Record holder for the world's largest cuckoo clock at 23 feet 6 inches. This will hang in your office. I don't want you to lose it. I look for 3 years again. Jesse,
And one more thing, Mary, we really appreciate you because we're not from here, but you guys welcome us in like we grew up here and treat us like family. And I don't talk much, but if there's one thing I can say besides we love you, don't lose a certificate. Make sure y'all put that somewhere safe. You deserve it. We salute you. God bless you.
It wasn't easy to find, but it's home where it belongs, and that's the final piece of the puzzle. For all the hard work this man and the city and everyone that was involved, that's your reward. And that'll hang over there in that office or the museum or wherever for people to see it, but we are the record, from this day forward, the record holders. Sonny, are you?